So, The Batman. I saw this movie twice, and just out of the way, this is a spoiler review, so you've been warned. I've heard a lot of people talk about how this movie doesn't have much comedy in it, and when I say a lot of people, I mean I'm sorry, I've never done this before. I'm just spitting off the top of my head or whatever. But yeah, I've seen it twice. Loved it. I think it's the best Batman movie. Not necessarily the best movie with Batman in it, but the best Batman movie. What do I mean by that? I mean that it gets the character of Batman down in a way that hasn't been done in live action before. See, Tim Burton's Batman was not Batman. That was some weird Tim Burton version of Batman. Like for real, like in the Tim Burton movies, it's like all the characters, he looked at a picture of them and he's like, I'm gonna make him act like this, and this is their backstory. Like Batman acts like a bat when he's Bruce Wayne. Like, what's the deal with that? Anyway, this isn't about the whatever it's called, Burton Batman movies or any of them, but The Dark Knight is generally considered the best Batman movie. But it's not really about Batman. It's more about the Joker, and it's great, but it's not the best Batman movie in my opinion. Granted, this is all my opinion, so you could disagree. But if you do disagree, your opinion is wrong. But your opinion is completely valid, even though it's wrong. Anyway, moving on to what this is actually supposed to be about. The Batman is campy. And this is not something new to Batman, like the 60s Batman show, which I watched as a kid, like, growing up, watching reruns, like, I took it completely seriously. I was like, whoa, this guy's fighting crime, he's a badass. But then you watch it as an adult and you're like, wow, this is really campy. Like, I took this seriously as a kid. Okay. But I think that that's part of the reason why the new Batman movie adds camp. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean camp? I mean that it has moments that are silly. Like, it's a movie that on the surface seems completely serious, but when you look closer, you see that there's, like, actually a lot of comedic moments in it. For example, and once again, this is a spoiler review, so if you don't want spoilers, go see it. Now. Go. Have you seen it? No? Go see it. Have you seen it? Yes? Continue. Anyway, like, it's great. I love the camp in it. It gives it this extra, like, little bit of charm. Like, without the camp, it'd be, like, just depressing. But it's not. Like, there's a little fun in it. Like, you're watching a movie. It knows that it's a movie. You got Penguin, Riddler, Catwoman, Gordon, like Jim Gordon, and even to a degree Batman giving off some sort of camp in scenes here or there. What do I mean? And I shall get into more specifics. For example, the Penguin, like, I mean, that's pretty obvious. Like, Colin Farrell does a great job as the Penguin, and it's a completely different Penguin from what we've seen on any other on-screen, wah, wah, wah. And then, like, when he's tied up, he's, like, waddling around. Like, how's that not funny? Completely different than any of the other on-screen performances we've seen, and it's my personal favorite. Like, you got him with a New York accent, like, hey, take it easy, come on, like that kind of thing. Like, you can't take that seriously. Like, it's a performance you'd see in a comedy, and it works in this movie somehow. Matt Reeves did a great job, like, putting in these elements of camp that just give it extra charisma and charm. And then you got Gordon giving line deliveries. For example, like, the one that stands out to me is when they find out that Falcone is the rat. And he's like, Falcone was the rat? He sounds so, like, exhausted and over the top, and it's, like, overacting that you wouldn't expect in a movie, like, that's in the same tone as Seven or Zodiac or some other David Fincher movie. And it just fits somehow. And then you got, like, Catwoman saying these sort of cliche film noir lines, like, what's underneath that mask? Is it scars? And Batman's reply is like, yeah, I'm scarred. Like, I mean, come on. It's kind of poking fun at noirs, like classic film noirs, which is great. Like, classic film noirs are awesome. Transitioning into Batman, you got him, like, with the thumb drive. And then even scenes where he's walking around and people are like looking at him, and he just looks at them like it's just a little bit comedic, and it works. Like, he has character, even though he doesn't say any lines. Like, just his presence and his movements are this like serious character that you just can't help but kind of think like he's taking himself too seriously in a way that like fits with the theme. And I've realized I'm saying like a lot. Sorry about that. But I'm doing this all like off the top of my head. There, I said it again. I'm doing this all off the top of my head. So sorry, I haven't done this before. But so you got the Riddler when he's talking to Batman in the jail cell. Like, his reaction, he's just like a child who just doesn't get his way, is basically how he's acting. And like, how could you not take that comedically? It's the full-grown adult acting like a kid, like, this didn't go the way I want. And he's talking with his streaming video kind of like this, and he's like, hey guys, thanks for watching. I couldn't have done this without you. Like, comment, and subscribe. See you tomorrow at the shooting. Pew pew. Like, am I wrong? Like I said, this isn't a criticism. This is actually like a observation that I think makes the movie better. Like, without these weird little bits of comedy, I don't think the movie would be quite as entertaining. It'd be kind of a drag. It'd be like, man, this is all just depressing. But like, it's a movie that knows it's a movie. Like, its purpose is to entertain, and it exceeds that purpose. It does that. It fulfills that purpose and more. Like, it's 3 hours, but it goes by like that. It feels like an hour. Like, it's done, and you're like, that was 3 hours? Like, what? Where's the rest of it? That's not 3 hours. And then you check your watch, and you're like, oh, it was 3 hours. Dang. It just flies by, and I think that part of the reason why is because of that little bit of comedy that just makes you, like, even if you don't notice it, I think you notice it subconsciously, and there's something in you that's like, this is a fun movie, even though it's, like, depressing. And it deals with a serial killer in a city where everyone's corrupt and there's no hope or whatever until the end. But this isn't an analysis of the theme or whatever. It's just an observation of the camp. It's just such a great movie. And it gets the character of Batman, like, so well down. Like, you got the opening scene of him, or not the opening scene, but the early scene of his introduction and the build up to it, where you see all the different areas of Gotham where there's crime happening, and they look in the shadows, and you're sitting there like, oh, is the Batman in there? And you're like wondering, and you're on the edge of your seat like, oh, and then he's not there. But then finally he appears, and he beats the crap out of criminals and stuff. But yeah, it's a great movie. If you haven't seen the Batman, go check it out. Don't take it, well, actually this is a spoiler review, so if you have seen it, go rewatch it. Or if you have seen it and you didn't think it was comedic or fun or whatever, then go see it again and just pay attention to how campy it is. Well, thanks for watching, if anybody even did. I don't even know if I'm going to post this, but if you're watching it, that means I did. So yeah, I might do more of these, I might not, I don't know. I doubt anyone's going to watch them, but whatever. Okay guys, like and subscribe. Well,